Okay, we were in different places in this packet yesterday based on whichever class it was. So, the main thing I want you to remember, just look with me on here right now. This is a student's paper who didn't write their name, but slope is what we were talking about. Slope was this part of the line, mainly the hypotenuse, remember? And it was rise over run. And we just counted on the triangle, right? And so we had really guided examples and we watched that video about it and did it that way. But today we're going to move to looking at it. Well, how does it look when they don't give you every single little thing that you need? So I want you to be on this page. Turn to this page. It's the one that says mark a point on the given line that passes through the point of the intersection of the graph lines. And then it has this at the bottom, correct marking, wrong marking. And that's where we need to be. Okay? Come to this page, please. Okay, so here's a blank graph. So basically, if we're given a line and nothing, even if they didn't mark anything, we can find the slope, right? Because we can pick two dots and make a triangle. So the big idea when you're doing this, pick 2 points if they didn't give you any, and make a right triangle. And count your rise over run. If you forgot what rise over run was, remember rise is up and down, vertical, run is left and right. And if we go this way, we have the negatives, remember? And let me just see. Where's my 0, 0 at? This is really hard to see where 0, 0 is. Looks like this is 0, 0 right here. The origin. Okay, so remember negatives are over here. Positives, positive, negative. And we reviewed this already for whole day, the coordinate grid, so you should be good with that. And this is the y-axis, and this is the x-axis. All right, so remember, pick 2 points, right triangle, rise over run. So they gave us 2 to start with, right here and right here. I use a highlighter just to make it real clear. I have a right triangle. So my slope, I go up 2. I'm actually going to label that right there. And then I went left 1, 2, 3. Hold on. If I go that way, isn't that negative? It is. Left is negative. So we had 2, negative 3. If I choose some other points that are as close together as possible on here, it's going to give me the simplified version as well. Remember, even if we went the opposite way, like made our triangle down here, it might be negative 2 over 3. That's the same. And we could even write it like this. These are all the same versions, right? The only thing is if you were to get this, is this the same? It's not. This is actually positive right here because a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So these are correct ways to represent it. So let me show you something. Some people are going to be like, I'm going to pick that dot and that dot. But look, those aren't actual points. You have to mark places like this where it lands right on a line. You don't mark places like this. And I mean where it lands on a little intersection. See those lands right there? This doesn't. This falls just like on a line somewhere. Though that's not an ordered pair. So you don't pick that. You have to pick where there's an ordered pair clearly, not like a half or something weird ordered pair. So let's pick our own 2 points on here. I'm just going to grab this one. Where's a good one? Here's one. And here's one. And I don't even know what they are on the grid, but I'm going to make a triangle and see what I get. So if I make my right triangle, it should be the same because I picked 2 very close together. It's okay if you put yours in a little bit different spot, but it's probably going to be the same spot because those are only 2 points here. My rise is up 2. My run is left 3. So again, I got up 2 over negative 3. That's my slope. So slope of that line was this. We just figured out the slope of that line, y'all. No problem. We didn't even use a formula yet. So line A. Let's look right here. Don't write that. That was a note for myself. Line A I'm going to pick 2 points. Remember, that's what we do. And then I'm going to make a right triangle. And be careful, then you're going to do rise over run. Remember, you're going vertical first for the top number and then sideways for the run for the bottom number. And so if you're ready to try right now, go ahead. And then you can see if you got it right or not with me by pressing play. But if you're not, then let's look at this one together. So I'm just going to go find 2 points. And I'm going to draw the triangle. Remember, my rise is the up or down. And then my run is the left or right. And so I did it down here. You can do it up here if you want, right? But I'm going to do it down here. So my rise, I went down 1, 2, 3. So I went -3. My run, I went across -2. It's negative because I went to the left. It's negative because I went down 3 from where the line was. So I got -3 over -2. What if I did 1 here and 1 here, and I did the triangle up here? Well, my rise is 1, 2, 3, and my run is 1, 2. So -3 over -2 and 3 over 2. Guess what? These are equivalent. These are both positive, okay? Because if you go type in your calculator, -3 divided by -2, it's going to be the same thing as 3 divided by 2. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. And I'll show you real quick. So let's just say we did 3 divided by 2, the positive way. You're going to get 1.5. You don't have to check this, but to make sure that you're right, you can. And then -3 divided by -2 is 1.5. And you don't have to type it all weird like that in your calculator. My phone is just picky. So that's our slope, 1.5, 1.5, or you can say 3 over 2. Same thing, okay? Try this one. Pick 2 points, make a right triangle, do rise over run. All right. You could have picked something like this maybe. This point and this point. I'm going to use this side. My rise, I went down 1, 2. Actually, from the line, I went up 1, 2, 3. There's my rise. And I went over to the left 1. So I have -1, and this is +3. Let me do one more and just flip it. I'm going to pick this point and this point just to make sure I didn't make a mistake. This time my rise is going down 1, 2, 3. So -3 over +1. These are the same. They're both -3 over 1. No matter if you go divide it in your calculator, these are both the same because they just have one negative, okay? So I could also write it like this, -3 over 1. Also, isn't any number over 1 just the number? So my slope here is -3. But any of these were correct if you got them, okay? All right. Go ahead and try this one. So press pause, do what you need to do to figure it out, and then pick the answer. Try this one. We're not going to do this. Okay, so now you're back. It says, what is the slope of the given line in figure 1? Well, they gave you a bunch of answers. Let's start. I'm going to pick this very obvious point, and I'm going to go to this one. The smallest distance between. I went up 1 over 1. They don't have that, so maybe I'm not seeing my dots clearly. So let me pick a bigger one then. Here's one very obvious, and there's another one perfectly obvious right there. So since I didn't see my answer, I picked 2 different points that were further apart. So I'll draw this triangle. I went up 1, 2, 3, 4. So a positive. I was going to write a plus sign, but you don't need to. And then I went over to the left, 1, 2, 3. So that's negative. It should be -4, 3. So if you're like me and you picked some points, but you couldn't find your answer, you probably didn't pick 2 points that were actually on a perfect ordered pair. So go pick 2 more that are a little further apart and see if you get it. And there it is. Okay? Even if you flipped it, you probably had negative, like 4 over -3. That's the same. So you would know to pick this one. Okay. These are the types of slope that there are, and I'll make a chart in here, or one of you will in the future. So kinds of slope. Slanting to the left, like this, is negative. So when it's going like this, that's negative. When it's going up to the right, that's positive. And what else? Oh, vertical is undefined, but horizontal is 0. We'll talk more about this. I just want you to have this in your notes for now. So let's try to apply that down here. Try to label these lines. Line A, what type is it? Line B, what type is it? Line C, what type is it? Tell me right here what type of slope it is, and you can use your notes up here. Go ahead and try that, and then come back and check. Okay, so for line A, I noticed that it's going to the left like this. That's negative. If line A is negative, line C has a negative slope. So here's a negative slope, and here's a negative slope. That means the one going upward like that to the right is a positive slope. So line B is the positive slope. Remember, the horizontal type is a 0 slope. And if it's going up and down, it has an undefined slope. So we put undefined. So that was just quickly making sure we kind of match them with that. Okay, you can close this packet and put it up for now. The next thing that you're going to be on is watching a little, well, you'll see the next thing.